We have such a dynamic group of panelists today, and let us welcome our speakers from around the world by starting with our first panelist, who is Dr. Gonçalo Mendes Leal, who is a lawyer and partner for Nuno, Sousa, Moniz, and Associados, Lisboa. So at NSM Lawyers, Gonçalo has developed his career mainly at real estate, migration, and corporate law. With more than 500 investors on both GoldenVisa and D7, NSM plays a relevant role on assisting their clients in all the stages of both programs. Dr. Gonçalo and his team are active members of Investment Migration Council, the most important association constituted under Swiss law. The Investment Migration Council IMC is the worldwide association for investment migration and citizenship by investment. Welcome, Dr. Gonçalo. We are very proud to have you, and the forum is all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Asafa. Thank you, all the attendees. I would like to first welcome to this webinar and make a quick explanation on the GoldenVisa process and the way it's structured in Portugal. So first, this was a program that was launched by the Portuguese government at the end of 2012 with the main target to attract international investors to Portugal through a program of exchanging, let's say like this, the investment for a residence, temporary residence title. With this title, the holders are entitled to live, work in Portugal freely, and travel within the Schengen space without any restrictions at all. One of the most important things that the program has is regarding you can do the relocation with this title, so you can actually relocate to Portugal. But if it's not your intention, you can simply, the minimum period of stay in the validity of the card is 7 days per year, which is the lowest in all the GoldenVisa programs existing. Also allows you to, as I mentioned, to travel within all the Schengen area. And under the umbrella of one investment, you can place your direct family members into the same program without any other investment. And for direct family members, I mean spouse, kids, parents, and parents-in-law. Of course, that the kids and the parents-in-law and the parents, they have specific rules regarding the dependency that I can explain after. But in general terms, that is the benefits that the direct family members have. Regarding the validity of the card is issued for a period of 2 years, and then it's renewal in 2 years. The conditions that you have to show in the moment of the renewals are the same that you have shown in the moment of the first card. And actually, one of the benefits, other benefit of the card is at the end of year 5, you can apply for citizenship or permanent visa. So it's also a route to citizenship or for a permanent visa that is already proved. We have already clients with passports received through this program, so it's something that it's also a big positive side of the card and the program. Regarding what are the logical of documentation and requirements that we need to show to immigration office in the moment that we start the process, they are very simple. The process, I always try to pass this idea to the clients and the investors, that this is a black or white process. Is not there are no gray areas in the program. So if you have a valid passport, a clear police clearance, and some other small documents that we can build directly here in Portugal, like the Declaration of Honor, where you state that you will fulfill the conditions of the program, a declaration of no debts to Social Security and tax authorities in Portugal, and you have, of course, to do the investment and to prove that the investment is done, you can qualify. So they are very simple. From the side of the investor, of course, we will need the passport, the police clearance, and the investment itself. In our side, we will take care of the declaration of owner, the no debts documentation certification to tax authorities and social security. As proof of the investment, we need to have the investment should be done before the start of the process. So we need to gather a declaration from a fund, if that is the option of the investment, stating that you are holding the units of participation in the fund of the minimum value of the fund. So right now, the minimum value of participation in the fund is 500,000 euros. And then a declaration issued by a Portuguese bank stating that the money has come from abroad. So typically, we advise the clients to create a Portuguese bank account before doing the investment so that they can generate this proof to deliver to immigration office. Regarding the documentation specific for the investor, as I mentioned, we will need a full copy of the passport. This documentation is for all the process. Let's say like this: for the process near immigration office, for the process near the bank and the tax authorities. So we need a full copy of the passport. In the moment that we go for the biometrics, we need a valid stamp of entry in Portugal. Before we start the process, we don't need that. Then we will need a proof of residence and a proof of profession from where you are living and to whom you are working. A power of attorney that gives us the powers to represent you in all the steps of the program and everything that is needed in Portugal in your behalf. A tax number in Portugal and a declaration for us as a law firm to get your tax number and to become your tax representative, and police clearance from the country where you are living for the last year. This only applies for the main investor. For the dependents, there are different rules. And also the tax number from the country where you are living for the last year too. So this package of documentation, with this package of documentation, we can start the process and do all the steps that are needed to approve your GoldenVisa application. Regarding the family reunification, the documents are a little bit different. I can explain them more in detail in the future, in the end of the presentation. But mainly, I like always to pass the idea to the clients that we need to prove the link between the main applicants and the dependents. So if it's a spouse, we will need a marriage certificate. If there are kids, we will need a birth certificate. If there are parents or parents-in-law, we need a birth certificate of the investor or the spouse. The logical is always these documents, they have, according with the Portuguese law, they have deadlines. We need to make sure that they are fresh copies of the originals of this documentation that I mentioned. And regarding everybody that is over 16, we will need police clearance from the country where they are living and the country of origin. This is mandatory. We need these two documents, these two police clearance from these two countries, if it's not the same. All this documentation that I just mentioned need to be, in order to be valid in Portugal, need to be stamped at the Portuguese embassy or with the apostille of a stamp, so that they become valid outside of the countries where they are issued. And I think that regarding the family reunification, this is the summary of the documentation that we need. In respect to the timeline, of course, that this is always a perspective of timeline. We cannot assure all the details because some of them depend on the moment that the funds arrive to Portugal. Others depend on the tax authorities. Others depend from of the immigration office. So I will give you a general idea on the logical and the proper timelines and according with our experience, and then we have to adapt that to the specific moments that the investor does. So basically, the first thing that you need to take, and we call it the moment zero, is to take the decision to go through the process, go for the program. From that moment, we will request all the documentation to prepare the opening of the bank account, the request of the tax number, the POA, and everything that is needed for us to go to the investment. In the same moment, while we are taking care of these steps, our advice is for you to take a decision on the fund and a decision on your specific investment, so that you can organize with the fund manager all the paperwork that they will need, KYCs and things like that, from their side to prepare the documentation. Once the money, the funds arrive to Portugal, you can give an instruction to the bank to transfer that funds to the account of the fund, so the fund can deploy your process and start the execution of the documents in your behalf that we will need as a proof of the investment. Then with that already done, we apply for the process at immigration office. The first application is done online. We call it it's a stage that we call the pre-approval, and so we deliver all the documentation in PDF for the main applicant first with in PDF, and they will start that we need to make a payment of pre-analysis taxes, and then we will wait around 6 to 8 weeks for the pre-approval to come out. During that period, we can place the rest of the family members if all the documentation is ready, and after the whole family is pre-approved, we can book the biometric data delivery. The biometric data delivery, it's actually the first moment that you need to be physically in Portugal. Of course, that you are more than welcome to come before, but for the needs of the program, this is the first moment that you need to come to Portugal, and we organize between our immigration office and according with your agenda and the agenda of immigration office, we organize a one-day trip to an office of immigration office where you have to deliver the originals of the documents that we have placed in the system for the pre-approval, and you have to deliver the biometric data itself, so photo, fingerprints, and signature. After that step is concluded, the process goes to the next level of approval that we call the final approval, and typically it takes around 3 to 4 months to get that approval. We are notified of that final decision. If something is missing, if some document meanwhile has expired, they will notify us, and we will speak with the investors to upload the new document with the proper date. And after that process is completed, they will notify us for the final approval. That is the moment where the investor has to pay the government taxes on the card, and the card will be issued within 10 days. As I mentioned in the beginning, the first card is valid for 2 years. Within this period of 2 years, we have 14 days that you need to spend in Portugal, and then when in the moment of renewal, you have to come back to Portugal again and deliver the renewal. That can be done in the same moment. I think that and then after, as I mentioned, after the year 5, we can apply for citizenship if that is your idea. I think that in summary, that is the way the process is done, and that's how we treat the process. Here we have some information regarding the comparison between the logical of investment in real estate on 500K and the funds. The funds in Portugal, they have some benefits. They are exempt from some taxation. So in comparison, they look like a very wiser investment decision when compared with the real estate 500K, because the costs that you have are way too low in comparison with the other investment. I think that's more or less I have explained this slide too. So we have the logical of the process and the way, the timeline that we are using with the clients that we have on our side. And it's the first 10 to 15 days, they are very quick. We try to do everything against the watch. And then we need, after the process enters immigration office, we need to take their timings to get the approval. But I would say that from the beginning until we get the card, more or less 6 months, we can expect 6 to 8 months to receive it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gonçalo, for explaining
You're
us
welcome.
the entire Golden Visa process in a very simplified manner for everyone to understand. And as we know that there was a lot of demand of Golden Visa last year. So how was your experience in guiding people, and what was it like to have been in the process of Golden Visa last year? And how do you see the changes impacting this year? If you can highlight the new changes that has come this year, and what will that bring to the country?
So last year was I would say that last couple of years they were very good on this process. We had a lot of new clients. The program is very well. The reputation of the program is very good outside. So since COVID is out, we felt that this has become a true option for the investors. I think that the COVID situation was a proof that these cards, or this kind of cards, they had immediate effect if something happens to the world, or if something happens to the country where the clients were living. So I would say that the first clients that were able to travel after this situation with COVID were the ones from that had the card on their hands. So it was a great year, 2021, and also because of the changes that the program was having in the beginning of 2022. Most of the investors they tried to complete by the end of 2021. The main changes that the government has approved for 2022 and that are already valid right now is regarding the limitation of investment for habitational use in I would say most of the coastal areas of Portugal. So the intention of the government is, with the help of the investors, to grow the investment in the interior, to make the interior go to a different speed of transformation, and that is already working. And also regarding the logical of the bank deposit, there was a raise from 1 million as a minimum value to 1.5 million, and on the funds there was a change from 350 to 500k as minimum level of investment for that. To be honest, I don't feel a big difference from what was the year of 2021 to the year of 2022. I feel that the investors, some of them have more doubts on the way the program is working today, because they don't fully understand the rules. But it's very clear that the program is out, the program is working, and the investors they are understanding it now, and they are doing the investments in the same way. So I feel that there is a comfort of the process. Under my opinion, this move give us it was the first big change after 10 years of the Golden Visa program, and give us the sensation that this is a process that is very interesting for the country, very interesting for the government, and it's a bet. So this is a way to do it in a different mode. Let's say like this. They want to push from different sizes and different regions, but the program is out, is there, and it's kicking. Let's say like this.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for highlighting that change. The reason that I'm asking about it is because I read an article recently which spoke about making an appeal to ban golden visa, and we see several other countries are also on the verge of, like, closing the investment for foreign investors. So what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you foresee any new changes in the rule system this year, or, like, do you foresee that golden visa for Portugal may come to a closure anytime soon?
No, actually, this kind of informations that appear from time to time in the press, they appear very often because there is a movement in the, I would say, left parties of Europe to try to make some noise around the program in a way that they feel that this is attracting money laundering and terrorism to Europe. Through this kind of programs. Actually, all the governments, they are very serious on this. They are doing their job in a way that they do constantly requests and more requests on the police clearance. They are more detailed on the compliance that they ask the lawyers and the banks and the funds to do in order to make sure that we are not importing any kind of issues, and that I would say that is noise that from time to time appears in the newspapers and in the news. But actually, it's not. I don't feel that is a real issue. And these changements in the law that the government has just done, it's a sign that they are trusting the system, and they intend to keep the effort of the country through this kind of projects.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Gonçalo. We have another panelist trying to interact with you. So, Mona, over to you.
So, Gonçalo, I had a couple of questions from the Indian perspective. We have the impression that the knowledge of the local language is a prerequisite to qualify for the golden visa. Is that correct?
No, that is incorrect. The knowledge of the Portuguese, it's only a request if you decide to apply for citizenship or permanent visa. That means at the end of year 5. Before in year 5, you cannot go for that option. So you don't have the need throughout the 5 years that you are holding the golden visa card to speak any Portuguese or to understand any Portuguese. So that is not a requisite for the golden visa process.
My second question to you is, we see a lot of Indian developers that are also setting up real estate projects in Portugal now that qualify for the golden visa. So this question is broken into two different aspects. One is the impression I have here in India is that now the golden visa is only given in upcoming investments in real estate in upcoming areas and not the main cities like Lisbon, and plus the Indian developers are also qualifying for real estate projects that can promote golden visa. So just can I have your thoughts on that?
As I mentioned, the new rules, they ban the investments from the coastal area on investments for habitational use. So you still have the possibility of doing investments in Lisbon, Porto, and all the coastal areas of Portugal if the projects are focused on tourism use or commercial use. So if you are buying an office, a store, or if you are buying a part of an hotel bedroom or an apart hotel compound, you still qualify for golden visa under the new rules. So it's not 100% accurate that you say that right now Lisbon is fully banned from golden visa. There are some investments that qualify and others that don't qualify anymore. I don't know if that answered both questions or if you want to read you the second question.
So the second question, I'll put it in some other words. Are international developers also allowed to come and develop tourism and commercial products that qualify for the golden visa?
Of course. All the investors are are invited to enter Portugal and do their investments in Portugal. If the target is to get a golden visa or just to get profit out of their investment, for the Portuguese government, that is not a rule. The golden visa is a plus that you can have if you do the investment in Portugal. So typically what we have is some promoters from other countries that come to Portugal and they create their own companies. They develop this kind of projects and they take their business to a different level, and as an addition they will get the golden visa for themselves and their families. So it's always positive.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Gonçalo.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Mona. And we have one more question from our attendees. Is Golden Visa program open to all nationalities? From Mr. Hamid.
Yes, we have no kind of discrimination of any kind to other countries. This is a completely open program. Actually, we have done I would say the most complicated countries in the world. We have done the golden visa with cars delivered. So we have that proof in our office that there is no restrictions at all for country. There is no, even countries that are with political issues that are under international restrictions, we can approve. It's regarding the person and not regarding the country that this program is focused.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Gonçalo, for enlightening us about the entire golden visa process. And now I would like to hear a few words from our next panelist about golden visa. And she is Ms. Leal, Danchan, who is a senior partner banker and investment advisor responsible for international market at Bison Bank in Lisbon, Portugal, also a vice president for Fiscal Council at PAIIR. She comes with almost 10 years of experience in the banking sector and investment markets, in experience with accounting management and asset investment portfolio. Her focus is on golden visa and H&WI immigration clients by providing a dedicated banking service for wealth management and financial investment options. So welcome to our webinar, Lee. We are pleased to have you.
Thank you, Afsana. Hello, everyone, and thank you for participating in this webinar. I'm very glad to be here, and I will give you a very recent presentation of our bank and our services, because one of the conditions to start a golden visa is for you to have a bank account in a Portuguese institution. So Bison Bank, it's a European bank that is based in Portugal with a Chinese capital from Hong Kong. We are very focused on providing private banking services and wealth management to our clients, individuals or institutional clients. Our headquarters is based in Lisbon, very center of this beautiful country. And we are very focused in international clients, especially from Europe, US, Hong Kong, and as well some of South Africa. The bank established with more than 20 years of history. And we are very welcome to onboard all of the persons that wish to have golden visa in our country. So Bison Bank is managed by 4 executive board members, which you can see our CEO is directly from Hong Kong and have very vast experience in the banking sector alongside with all other executive board members. Talking now to our main services in the bank. So Bison can offer to all the clients that wish to have golden visa or investments in Portugal an account that is called Bison Premium account. We do have a very remote presence in working with clients, and we have the options to onboard remotely all of the accounts. So basically, you don't have to go to Portugal, either come to the bank to have a fully open account at your disposal. Also, we will give to every client a dedicated client manager that you can communicate and treat all the things you need in terms of financial services. And all of this you can get free of charge based on some conditions that I will explain later. So this account will offer brokerage, discretionary portfolio management, investment advisory, and other products that you wish to access. But also you can use this account for your GoldenVisa investment, and we will support you in every step of the way alongside with your lawyer. Meaning this, you can also do a day-to-day transfers and some services that you need for other kind of needs. And we will give you a very personalized experience in terms of as a first bank in Portugal, and explain to you also giving you all the tips that you need to be successful in GoldenVisa in terms of banking services. Of course, the bank is very focused on the private equity funds, which this year the amount has increased for 500,000 euros. But also we accept other types of GoldenVisa investments, especially real estate and companies or deposits above 1.5 billion. Saying this, the bank will give a multi-currency account to all the clients that wish to onboard. So independent of the services independent of the investment of GoldenVisa you will do, we will give you a multi-currency account to easy your transfers to Portugal in your name. The currency by default is euro and USD dollars, but we have other currencies that you can use also. And this is not a restriction. You don't need to depend on euro itself, so you can do the conversion later when it's more convenient for you. You have online banking, of course, to be accessed whenever you wish and whenever you are, and also complete transaction services inside your online banking. Besides that, and focusing especially on the private equity funds, which the bank will have a major role to customize your investment in the bank.
Lee, your voice is cracking for us.
I think we might have lost Lee.
I think, yeah, we're not able to hear Lee, and I think she'll join back. So while she's, yes, I think she's here. Yes, Lee, are you able to speak now? Are you in a better network area? No, I think still your voice is robotic. Yeah, your voice is still robotic. It's lagging a bit. Can you try again?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So can you hear me?
I think if you can turn your video off, maybe that will provide a better bandwidth.
So what now? Can you hear me better?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Okay, so without any image, I'm sorry for this issue. So continuing, as I was saying, so the bank is more focused on 500,000 investments, GoldenVisa investments through funds. So in terms of fees, you can see as you in the screen what is the main fees that the bank will charge, because we will do the main part to custody your investments for 5 years in the bank. So any questions you have regarding this issue, feel free to ask, and we also give you all the information concerning all the types of investments through GoldenVisa. Okay, basically is that. So thank you very much again, and very sorry for this counter time issue.
No problem. Thank you so much, Lee, for such amazing presentation. And just few questions from earlier attendees that we have here. One from Mr. Hamid is about what are the tax advantages and disadvantages of GoldenVisa?
So GoldenVisa program itself, depending on what program you choose, okay, you have specific advantages in terms of tax. For example, if you invest in a venture capital fund or private equity fund, you as a non-resident, you will not be taxed in any way in Portugal. So you won't have pay any tax through through your assets, your dividends, or the capital, the increased capital that you will be earning with the fund. That is the major advantage through tax. For example, for other programs in GoldenVisa, in terms of real estate and other types, they will have specific advantages for that. So if you need any more specific investment type, I can give you later, or also you can discuss with the lawyer that type of tax advantages. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. What about the compliance process, and what is the due diligence that the bank does in order to have the funds in the country?
So we usually ask in advance what will be the transaction line for the clients to transfer all the funds they need in their account. Usually I advise the client to use their own account to do that. So basically end to end to be the same person to do the transfers. Also, of course, there are exceptions for that, but in terms of this issue, it will be better. The holder of the account will be the same as the main applicant, in order to avoid any other analysis that will take time to process.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lee. I think we have one more question from our panelists itself, that if in your experience, have you seen any GoldenVisa rejection, and what could be the possible reason? Maybe you as well as Gonçalo, both of you can highlight on this question, please.
I can answer that maybe because I have experience with the clients from this side. I guess that Lee that I may not have the same information. So basically,
yes.
So far we don't have we still didn't have any denial on the GoldenVisa program. Of course, that we work a lot with the clients in a way that they can deliver the proper documentation and with the proper deadlines to immigration office in order for them to analyze it. And we do our due diligence on the options of investment to make sure that it qualifies. So to be honest, it's not very typical to have a denial. As I mentioned in my presentation, it's a black or white process. If everything is correct, they will approve it. It's a question of the timeline of immigration office, but it's not typical to have denials on the process.
All right. Thank you so much, Gonçalo. Just to further on asking that question, is there a possibility to have multiple applications? Like apart from GoldenVisa, is there a way to have like another application as well?
Like other kinds of visa, you mean?
Yeah.
I would say that it's possible theoretically. You can do 2 or 3 processes of visa at the same moment, but at the end you have to take a decision on one. So that could affect the timeline of decision, and in the specific moment, the immigration office could ask what kind of visa you want to proceed with, because if you cannot be receiving different kinds of visas under this logical of program.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Gonçalo and Lee. We're glad to have you back with the video on as well. So thank you, Lee, for enlightening us about your bank and how the processes are like. And if we have any further question, we'll come back to you. Thank you. So let's move on our guest towards another dynamic personality in our room, Mona Jatola, a founding principal for Krypton Global Investments, Mumbai. She's a highly experienced sales and business development person with an extensive experience in all the verticals pertaining to local and international residential real estate, gained from last 8 years. She has strong leadership qualities, solid industry connections, and excellent administration and management skills. We are proud to have you, Ms. Mona. The forum is all yours.
Thanks, Afsana. I would like to correct my name. It's Mona Jalota. So that's the right pronunciation. Okay. And I represent a company in India called Krypton Global Investments, where we help Indian HNIs not only invest abroad in properties, but also citizenship via investments is our very niche service that we offer our HNIs. The GoldenVisa, of course, in India has been very popular, especially via Portugal. We have Portugal is a safe program. It's a well-documented program and it's a long-running program. It's not a new program which hasn't seen successful visa applications happen. So which is one reason why this program is really popular with the Indian HNIs. We also have some community leaders that have shifted their headquarters now to Portugal, and following their shift, a large part of the community also wishes to have a base in Portugal. So there are very many reasons why Portugal program is increasingly becoming popular in India. One of the latest trend that I've seen happening is also local Indian developers like Asugi are setting up base in Portugal, coming up with real estate programs where the Indian investors can invest in and avail of the GoldenVisa. I haven't seen anybody successfully do a fund from India, which is why I'm really excited about your fund product. It makes investing very simple. It also offers a return and plus gets you to the GoldenVisa. So it seems like, it's a lot of things rolled into one. So that's kind of exciting for me. I'm here on this panel today.
Mona, I think you're muted. We're not able to hear you.
Sorry, I was saying I'm here today to, answer any kind of queries anybody would have from the Indian perspective. As you all know that we are approached, India is a new market. Several citizenship via investment programs are coming into India, and a comprehensive, safe, stable program like Portugal is always going to do well. So if there's any question from the India related aspect, I'm happy to answer that. I can't add any more knowledge about Portugal, considering the esteemed panelists I have here, like Gonçalo and Lee. They've already covered everything there is to be covered. And I believe their expertise is better than mine for this program. So I'll be just happy to be a spectator and answer any kind of India related questions if there any comes up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mona. Sorry for the mispronunciation, but yes. We're very happy to have you. And yes, there are a few questions about Indian market that I would and we all would love to know about. So how is the awareness of Portugal Golden Visa in especially at the high end net worth people?
So I'll be candid with you, Afsana. Not everybody has made the effort to approach India as a market and really spread the awareness and educate the HNIs as much as your group is doing. So, the awareness is kind of just about now building up. Usually, people used to read a stray article, or they would kind of figure out how to get into Europe and then begin the research right from that aspect. But it's kind of getting, with groups like yours actively approaching India and setting about these webinars and increasing the education about the Portugal Golden Visa program. I think the popularity is going to become much more in the coming days. Another aspect is that whenever somebody comes to India to say, to talk about the citizenship programs, people usually target the major metros of Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. What groups like yours have done is also penetrate into the tier 2 cities where there is a lot of appetite for citizenship. People want a better lifestyle. They want to explore Europe. And I think that's going to be a key strategy to making the Golden Visa program even more popular in India.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And how do you compare Portugal's demand as in compared with other countries who offer citizenship program as well? So why Portugal in market? Yeah.
So if we were to break it down in continents, if we do an apple-to-apple comparison, there is no really time-tested, proven, comprehensive citizenship investment program in Europe, affordable program. Of course, you have the UK investment program, but that's unaffordable for a large multitude of people. Portugal has been there, done that, survived over a period of time, successfully given visas. You have many new entrants like you have Grenada, you have Hungary, you have so many different visa categories, but none of them compare to the experience and the steadfastness of the Portugal program. So if you see Europe as a continent, then I think Portugal is a very, very viable and the top runner. But if you see overall, if you ask me overall, what would be the most popular program? It still hands down is the EB5, India and the US obsession. But for the mature investor who's looking at more of a European presence, Portugal beats any other program hands down.
Okay. Thank you so much. And last question to you from us is, what advice would you like to give to the Portuguese lawmakers, the policymakers, to continuously raise capital from India? So any advice to us and also to the other people who are trying to raise capital from India?
I think a strong, sustained presence is very much important. India is a very, very large country having huge reserves of money, and it's an excellent emerging market. It's a very stable market as compared to a few other markets around the world that kind of hogged the limelight in the previous years of the most approachable markets, or wherein the developers and the policymakers really focused on the other markets in Asia. But I feel now it's the time to really establish and develop presence in India. And that will only happen when group like yours, consistently approaches India, focuses on an India strategy, understands that it's a country with a lot of culture and different cultures, and partners and ties up with the relevant professionals in India to make sure that the program is spread ethically, knowledgeably, the misconceptions are dealt with, the FAQs are answered, and the awareness is created. So my only advice to you and the policymakers back in Portugal would be to kind of really have a sustained long-term presence in the market, and then see the kind of results it yields in terms of capital generation. There's a lot of money to be made from India as long as somebody's focused on the India strategy.
Yeah, just curiosity from my end, because I am from India, from Mumbai, and we see a lot of Bollywood and a lot of celebrities and a lot of figures there, high worth individuals, if I say, and those kind of investors. So how do you see their mindset being changed post-COVID? So what is the mindset of those people post-COVID in terms of migration as well as in terms of investment?
I definitely think that investment has had a huge kind of mind share during COVID. People have wanted to expand their footprint. They want to diversify in the whole Bollywood celebrity industrialist, or as we term as the super HNIs, the top 10%. They have really kind of expanded their investment portfolio. The time at home has given them enough bandwidth to kind of explore what's out there, what can they do differently, how the other markets compare to the Indian market. So definitely, I feel that there's been a lot of increased awareness on the opportunities present across the globe. As far as migration is concerned, these are still very sensitive issues in India. People don't really like to talk about their second passport ambitions or their ambitions to kind of leave India and get a better lifestyle, especially in the high net worth category. Celebrities are always in the limelight. So you have like a stray celebrity who's proud to announce his second passport, like how Akshay Kumar is a citizen of Canada. So very rarely do these things come out. Most of the time when the celebrities think of getting a second passport, it's not generally to have a better lifestyle, because they enjoy an amazing lifestyle in India as well. It's more to do with an ease of travel and to have a passport that allows them unrestricted travel to various parts of the world. So in my knowledge, definitely they are waking up to the possibility of holding several PRs at one go, because most countries like Portugal are quite open to having 2 PRs at the same time. That trend is picking up. They will want one visa that gets them unrestricted, one PR that gets them unrestricted access to the European continent. They'll probably take one that gives them unrestricted access to the US. So I think a lot of that is something that we are going to see coming up in the coming days. And that's the impact I feel COVID has had on the investment and the PR mindset with the celebrities.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mona, for highlighting all the aspects that we wanted to know about. And moving on to now our next and final panelist, Raheem Lakhani, to discuss more about the newly launched 7X Fund. Raheem will also be sharing the team's track record and its investment strategies. So Mr. Rahim Lakhani is proud to present 25 million euro venture capital fund named the 7X Portugal Fund, which is a GoldenVisa immigration and investment solution managed by the Lakhani Group Capital SCR. He's the president and CEO of the TLG. Also a seasoned real estate investor that owns and operates a multimillion-dollar portfolio of properties in Portugal, Canada, USA, and in India. Mr. Lakhani holds a graduate degree in engineering from University of Waterloo, Canada, and a postgraduate in real estate financing, taxation, and investment from Institution of Lisbon University. He worked extensively in European, American, Canadian, and Southeast Asian markets. He currently invests in a market of distressed asset and restructuring of companies in advanced operational stages. Now, without further ado, we will now turn our time towards Rahim Lakhani.
So, thank you so much, Afsana, for the kind introduction. I know we are hitting the 1 hour mark. So what I'll do is I'll go to the main parts, because I think we've shared a lot of excellent knowledge here on the webinar. And we'll also respect the timelines, and feel free to get in touch with us for even a more deep dive. So what I'll do is I'll just go and cover some of the main parts of this particular webinar. Of course, one of the main parts being the board of directors themselves and our team. So this is actually a family office. We have been in the development sector, in the fund management, private and public now for quite some time. The company itself was formed in India in 1983. So we are talking about decades of experience in the development sector. So Mona, when you alluded to the fact that developers internationally can come and develop in Portugal. We are the living proof here that is doing that, and we've had such an excellent time doing so. And we definitely encourage other property developers and fund asset managers to look at Portugal, because it is a great opportunity, and I think everyone will have a great time building from what we already have. So excellent place to be, and a great opportunity field for people who are looking to further develop their envelope. Okay, so anyways, however, our team here consists on the board, myself as the president and CEO, Afsana, who is present here. She is my lovely wife, as well as the vice president on sales. My sister Azima, she's our VP on compliance, as well as my brother-in-law, who's our VP on accounts. So and more family members in the team. So this is the deep-rooted family values, as well as the strong compliance nature that we have. So it's wonderful working with an excellent team. Also very important to highlight on the fact that the fund is, in addition to the strong family background, we also have an excellent panel of supervisory board that assists the board, the management committee, for all of the compliances, for all of the communications with the Portuguese regulator. Here, the board consists of over 100 years of experience combined in the legal, in the accounting sector, in financial sector. So we are advised by an excellent board, and we truly very lucky to have such an amazing board to give us their constant recommendations on the Portuguese aspects. And further to that, we also have an investment advisory team that consists of local developers, financial experts, as well as real estate developers from multiple different countries. Again, I think combined, if you look at the entire team, we have a very, very strong team and strong mind on putting this fund together and moving this fund for the best interest of the investor itself. Now, going on to some of the slides that I think is a lot more important. One of the ones being this particular one that showcases our registration with the Portuguese regulator. A lot of prior to this particular licensure, the investments that we used to make were mostly joint ventures with friends and family. But we realized and recognized that we need to have that India strategy, we need to have that Canadian strategy, and hence the launch of the venture capital fund called 7X, specifically for the fact that the Portuguese regulator has made it much easier and much simpler for the investors to come, and without holding a physical property in Portugal, they can still be eligible for GoldenVisa. So and with Bison, without physically actually coming to the country, they can still have this visa. So or a residency card. So this is essentially a very great vehicle to have when you particularly don't know how the local laws are in terms of property management, in terms of tenants and landlord bylaws. So you don't need to worry about any of those sorts, and still be backed by companies that invest in real estate, which is what we invest in. And also what I'd like to showcase to you is some of the projects that we are currently in the pipeline. So this is one of the projects that the fund will be investing into, which is a villa project. Currently about 70% of the construction has been complete, and the delivery of the villas will be close towards the end of the year. And there will be a possibility of doing a phase 2 for multiple more villas in this 40-acre land plot, only 10 minutes away from Lisbon. This essentially will qualify both for the GoldenVisa by purchasing a villa directly into your own name, or by investing in the fund, both on the record of 500,000 and above. So this is an excellent product that we recommend the investors to look at. This being the commercial in nature, because it has a touristic licensure, is still qualified for the GoldenVisa piece. However, like Mona mentioned, some of them in Lisbon are not qualified, which is only for habitational purposes. this has a commercial use and it is still qualified, while the owner being able to live there as long as they want. And apart from that, if they don't want to live there, then the management team will manage the villas for an agreed upon yield as well. So this is an excellent project that they could invest in. Apart from that, the fund has three other projects actually in total that will be investing in. One being a 4-star luxury resort that is already under negotiations. Another one being an Algarve area hotel, which will also be qualified for the 280 scheme. And finally, our background is also heavily into student housing, and we are looking at a site very close to Lisbon, about 15 minutes right on the ocean, for a brand new construction of a purpose-built student housing complex. We've already done one project there for 19 studios, and this will be essentially our new next project for about 75 to 80 studio apartments. I'll be able to send you a lot of metrics, a lot of assessments why we are doing these kind of developments, and the demand for these kind of projects are insane, while the supply especially for student housing is next to nothing. So we being from a Canadian lens, we've seen the student housing market grow significantly, and we'll apply the same principles out here as well. So the fund essentially is going to be investing in some very strategic assets, and these being that. So just to kind of conclude on the matter of the investment fund, it's a 25 million euro target fund focused specifically on hospitality, student housing, and villa community development. Our target return is 7% annually. We will be paying dividends as we go along as well. We have a 30% hurdle rate over the life of the term of 7 years, and after the hurdle rate is passed, there is a 70-30 split in the favor of the investor. So this is essentially a very simple structure that we have for the performance fee. And finally, we do charge a 1% of assets under management, and we have a 2,500 euro subscription fee, which is included in the $500,000. It is not on top, so the net cost to the investor is no more than $500,000, of course, with plus legal and plus government cost. But investment-wise, they are not paying any taxes. Like the property, you have to pay title transfer. They're not paying taxes throughout. They're not paying taxes on the exit. So very, very good vehicle, all in all, when it comes for investment in the GoldenVisa scheme. So back to you, Afsana, for any questions that we may have, and completely available for any questions even after the webinar.
Thank you for introducing the fund to us. And I think the basic question that everyone would want to ask and may want to know is about that why 7X? How is it exclusive to the several other funds that we have in market? And why would like a foreign investor or in-house would want to invest in the fund?
Guess what? I might have a slide for it actually. So let's make it back to that. I think one of the very simple reasons why we would recommend 7X versus any other fund that may exist in the market. Well, few reasons. One, we have a very, we do not have any complex structures. When you compare apples to apples, you will see there are several funds in the market that overly complicate their performance fee and overly complicate, how they make money. So we take great pride in having a very simple structure, one type of investor, and how we make profit over the hurdle. So I think that is one of the real benefits for a simple investor to be able to understand. Second thing that we take great pride in, and this is pat on the back to Lee and pat on the back to Gonçalo, because of the fact that we have been able to do a fast document processing and being able to actually make the GoldenVisa process simpler and without frustration. So when we fail with human resource, we adapt with technology. We also have built an internal IT infrastructure to be able to very easily navigate the investor and very, very easily be able to pass on the relevant documentation to the bank and to the lawyers to be able to actually move forward and make the application. So very simply, we are here to do the hand holding, and we'll be here for celebrating the wins of the GoldenVisa as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
I do think, Afsana, that other than Raheem, I should also talk about why investors would really like the concept of the 7x fund. It comes from a very impartial, space. Raheem owns the product, so of course he's going to talk, the positives of the product. But I just like to give a third-party view to a fund. So I'm going to talk about the Indian mindset. Usually in India, when people are availing of the GoldenVisa opportunity or any other citizenship via investment, they are happy just to park that money only to avail of the passport. They never expect, the real estate to yield a result for them or generate some kind of, capital appreciation or income. They just don't expect it. In that scenario, if a fund is offered to an investor, which is not only like Raheem mentioned, a very easy, transparent structure with a 30% hurdle rate, and the investors even going to make 70% of the upside. And considering the base of the fund is rock solid assets like students' accommodation, like the serviced villa project in Lisbon, it's not a fund that's made out of thin air. It's a fund that is made out of a good, rock solid base of excellent real estate investments. So that would be very, very appealing to an investor to not only have the safety and security of a fund backed with a solid real estate investment, also offering some kind of a return, and also offering a golden visa. So it's like a triple bonus. So from even a completely product agnostic viewpoint, this comes across as a really good product, a product that can be less difficult to sell than many other products on the market.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I think it's important when it comes from the third eye perspective on how it is portrayed outside as well, right? Apart from the offices that we are in, but how would it be taken on board by the foreign market, and how you are seeing it, right? It becomes important for us as well. So thank you, Mona, for highlighting that. And Raheem, if you have any last comments to make before we end the webinar.
I think we've covered a lot of ground. I sincerely thank everyone that has participated here and shared their views. I think the idea is very simple. We must keep the conversations going and keep these channels to actually continuously raise that awareness. I agree with Mona on this one, is that the awareness is lagging hugely. I think our favorites being Canada and America and UK and Australia. So there's a stiff competition for sure. But I think Portugal has a very unique proposition. So just to kind of give you that, I'm a Canadian, my family's Americans, but we are in Portugal. So, this should say something about those, and Afsana is from India. So this says a lot about why Portugal, So in a nutshell, I think everyone watching this, listening to this must pay a visit out here and see it for themselves. Why we are so happy being here.
Okay. So yes, thank you so much everyone for being here with us, and thank you all the panelists, the attendees, and amazing team behind making this webinar a success. So I hope it was an insightful and educational one for all. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.